Great day, everyone. So today we are going to see about cardiac murmurs. So cardiac murmurs, they are your swishing kind of sound which you will be hearing in between your regular heart sounds. That is your S1, S2. Before going to the murmurs, it is very essential. You need to understand regarding the heart sounds so that you can classify murmurs, like identify them, what type of murmurs they are. So coming to the normal heart sounds, if you look at the reverse diagram, so you know that your S1, S2, S3 and S4, they are going to appear by the respective phases. So S1, which is mainly is going to be there when your AV valve closes, right? So when your AV valves, that is your bicuspid or tricuspid, both valves when they are going to close, you are going to have S1, and you develop S2 when your semilunar valves, that is your aortic and your pulmonary valve process. Okay, and S3 is mainly your gushing of blood. So when the atrioventricular valves are going to open, and there is going to be a sudden gush of blood flow. So the blood flow is going to be very much turbulent. So because of the turbulent blood flow, you will develop S3. And S4 is when the blood is going to hit on the ventricular walls. So this thing is going to cause you the S4 during your ventricular hypertrophy, so left ventricular hypertrophy. So your S3 sometimes can be physiological in case of children or in case of athletics or thin individuals, where there is going to be turbulent flow which is going to cause it. Okay, so whereas your S4 is always pathological because it is because of the mm, ventricular hypertrophy which is being present. Okay, so just to identify between the various sounds, I'll just play you the normal heart sounds so you can appreciate them. So the normal S1 and S2 from your apex. So this is going to sound something uh, like this. S1, S2, S1, S2, S2, S2. This is your normal. This is your normal heart sound. That is S1 and S2. So you can appreciate the difference. So in apex, obviously the S1 being a little bit louder, and your S2 little bit of smaller sound. So the louder sound being the S1 and the smaller one goes to. So during your inspiration, the S2 can be splitting into A2 and P2. That is your aortic valve closes a few milliseconds before your pulmonary valve closes. So you have the splitting of S2 during your deep inspiration. So which is also can be appreciated here. I'll just play. So you can see tuk tuduk, tuk tuduk, tuk tuduk. So that tuk is your S1, tuduk is your A2 and P2. So you have your S1, A2, P2. So that is your splitting. So again, I'll play it for you. So this is your splitting of your S2. Okay. So now coming to the S3. So as I told you, it is because of the turbulent flow. So gushing of your blood. So you may feel it similar to the splitting, but if you notice it carefully, your splitting of S2 will be of the normal amplitude. Okay, so it does not sound very harsh, but S3 will sound a little bit of a higher. Okay, so comparison I'll just play you. So this is the splitting, and this is your S3. So you can see that bass which is being raised, right? So the harsh sound you'll be able to see. So that marks your S3. Okay, and now I'll just play you the S4 when your blood vessels blood flow is hitting the ventricles, and because of the ventricles have become hypertrophy, so this hitting of the blood during the filling phase, so you get the S4 sound. So you can see. So yes, you can see in the diagram multiplicators also. You have the S1, S2. Then before S1 starting, you can hear the S4. That's what. Then it's again starts. Right? S1 starts. So you love up and you get the sound. Loved up and you get the sound. So it appears like it is just before starting of S1 you hear the sound. Okay, so I'll just play it for you again. Just appreciate it. Okay, so I think you are able to now identify the common sound, that is S1, S2, S3, and S4. Okay, once again for you, the common S1 and S2. The splitting during the inspiration, right? Then you have the S3 because of the turbulent flow, and because of the ventricular wall hypertrophy. Sorry. So you are able to appreciate. Okay. So coming to the heart murmurs. So heart murmur, we basically classify them as your systolic murmurs and diastolic murmurs. So systolic murmurs are many murmurs which are going to appear between your S1 and S2. Okay, during the systolic phase. And between S2 and S1, that is another platform. This is your diastolic murmur. Okay, so you have your systolic murmur and your diastolic murmur. So systolic murmur, you can appreciate basically murmurs because they are musical notes, right? So they are swishing or wishing sound, I told you. So you have this is crescendo, that is increasing in intensity, and this is decrescendo. Okay, so we call this part as crescendo, this part as decrescendo, that is increasing intensity, decreasing intensity. So for example, the note is keep on increasing. This is a crescendo type, and it starts with a high note and keeps on decreasing. This is a decrescendo type, right? So systolic murmurs can be crescendo to crescendo, or it can be holosystolic, or we call it as pansystolic. That is, the sound can be heard throughout the systolic exponent. Yes. Right. So I'll just appreciate for just for appreciating, I'll just play a few sounds for you, so which you can appreciate. For example, crescendo, because you can hear it in case of aortic stenosis. So if you listen to the murmurs of your aortic stenosis, tuk, sh, tuk, tuk, sh, tuk. If you observe it clearly, you'll be able to understand. First, you have a S1, then you hear the swishing sound, then S2. So you have a systolic murmur, okay, so which is having a crescendo decrescendo pattern, right? So I'll just play it for you again. So, right, so if you are confused while hearing or while auscultating, always you can confirm S1 with your carotid pulse, right? So the where the carotid pulse you are feeling, that is going to coincide with the systole. So when you're having doubt where which is systole or diastole, you can always palpate for your carotid pulse, and the point where you feel the pulse, that is your systolic pulse. So that is your systolic phase of your heart. So you can say that is your S1, and the second sound is your S2. Okay, so in this case, again, I'll just play you so you can appreciate the swishing that is in the systolic murmur. Right. So now I'll just play you the pan-systolic murmur, which is common in case of the mitral regurgitation. Okay. So mitral regurgitation. Okay. First, I'll just tell you in short regarding what is stenosis and regurgitation. So So you have the valves, right? So you have the atria, you have the ventricles. Okay, so you have the valves in between, right? So if the valves are fully calcified or fully blocked, this is your stenosis. So what will happen is the blood will not be easily passing through from atria to ventricles, or from your ventricles via your aorta, the aortic valve, or your pulmonary valve. Okay, so when the blood is not able to go, the valves are calcified. That is called as your stenosis. Okay, regurgitation is the valves are very loose. So as it goes down, when your ventricle contracts, so there is a backflow which is coming because the valve is closed. It allows the blood to go backwards. Okay, so the backward flow will cause the another sound, that is the murmur. Okay, so that is the difference between your stenosis and regurgitation. So in case of your aortic and pulmonary, that is a semilunar valve stenosis, so you hear the systolic murmur, right? Because the systole phase is where both these valves are going to open and blood is going to come, right? So it is either going to go to the pulmonary artery or it is going to go to the aorta. So during your pulmonary stenosis or aortic stenosis, you hear a systolic murmur, right? And your mitral valve regurgitation or tricuspid regurgitation, you will hear a pansystolic murmur. Okay, because regurgitation is going to be backflow, so you'll be hearing for the whole phase. That's why it is pansystolic. So I'll just play it for you. So you hear only, right? So you don't hear S1 also completely clear, S2 also completely clear, but you hear two beats. That's all. So you hear the fishing sound throw, right? So I'll just play it for you. Right, so this is your pan systolic. Okay, so it starts with your S1, continues throughout your S2. Right, so now coming to your diastolic murmurs. So diastolic murmurs, they are mainly decrescendo type or decrescendo crescendo, that is decreases and increases. So here you hear diastolic murmurs in case of your regurgitation of your aortic regurgitation or pulmonary valve regurgitation. Okay, so stenosis, aortic and pulmonary stenosis was the systolic murmur, whereas regurgitation will be a diastolic. And similarly, mitral regurgitation, tricuspid regurgitation will be of a pansystolic murmur, whereas your mitral stenosis or tricuspid stenosis will be of a diastolic murmur. Okay, so this is what you have to keep in mind. Okay, so you just have to keep in mind what the cases of cardiac syndrome, right? That's all. When your ventricle contract, blood is going to go into the either your aorta or your pulmonary artery. Okay, so when there is going to be a stenosis during the systole itself, you hear the murmur. So that's a systolic murmur. Okay, but when there is a regurgitation, so that is a relaxing phase of your heart. But once it systole is happened, there is a backflow which is happening. So when during the relaxation, that is a diastole, you hear the regurgitation backflow. So that's why it is a your aortic or your pulmonary regurgitation comes under your diastolic murmur. Okay. So just for diastolic murmur, I'll just show you the example for your mitral stenosis, right? Okay, the loud beat first you hear is a S1. Okay, so it is love, dub, stop, love, dub, love, love, dub, love, right? So that is so it is love. It is next is the dub. Okay, so S1. So you have S1, S1, S2 sound and S1, S1, S2 sound, S1, right? So I'll just play it for you again. Right? So you have S1 followed by S2, then the swishing sound again comes your S1. Okay, so it appears just before the S1. Okay, so again listen carefully, you'll be able to appreciate it. Right? So these are all the basic heart murmurs which you need to know as a part of your first MBBS curriculum. Furthermore, there are a lot of things. So if you have any doubts, you can definitely come and clarify it. So this is the basics which you need to know regarding the heart murmurs, right? Yes. Thank you.